Hey there everybody, it's Matt with Max Video, and today we're doing a TV show review. Today we're going to be reviewing Stranger Things 2, um, along with a short description and explanation of Stranger Things 1, since I never did a video on that one, to my knowledge. I don't recall doing it. I've been here for over a year now, it's hard to keep up with everything. So, let me pull up my notes and we will get started with it. Stranger Things is a show that is a Netflix original series. It's premiered last year. Let's see, keep that from rattling. It premiered last year in June, July, somewhere around there. And it was an instant hit because of its use of 80s pop culture and just its style of the way it is. So yeah, let's talk about why it's as good as it is. Like I said, it is a pop culture phenomenon of a thing. The main four characters, Mike, Will, Dustin, and Lucas, are nerds. I'm sure if they lived in today's era, they would have this in the back of their room as well. They're into D&D, Star Wars, every and all things nerd related. So they're not exactly popular. Being a geek wasn't as appealing back then as it is today. So, needless to say, they are picked on a lot in school and by their siblings and all this good jazz. The first season, like I said, we'll do a quick little summary of that one. The main characters have to find Will, and Will has been captured by this interdimensional being called the Demogorgon, and it is discovered that this creature came from this other dimension through a hole opened up by the character Elle, who is a girl with psychokinetic powers, and she's a science experiment done by the Hawkins Lab, which is a energy research facility in the outskirts of the town that this is based on, Hawkins, Indiana. So that's what the first season is them trying to find Will, because the monster has taken Will to the Upside Down, which is the dimension in which it comes from, which is a dark mirror image of our world. It's literally our world, but everything's dead, nothing lives, there's no sunshine, it's all perpetual darkness, doom, and gloom. And so Will's been caught there, along with a few other characters that got taken by the Demogorgon. Barbara being the main one that you need to concern yourself with. And by befriending Elle, who escaped from the Hawkins lab, the guys are able to locate Will and save him. Some of the other characters that you need to know are the town sheriff, Jim Hopper, and he is just a very unlikable individual at the beginning of the series, I'm not gonna lie. He's a drinker, he's constantly has a cigarette in his mouth, he's just crass and rude to everybody. The only one that takes any crap off of him is his secretary. You have Joyce, who is Will's mother, who is played by Winona Ryder, which is probably the only big named actress in the first season. Sorry, lost train of thought. And she's gone crazy in this first season. Because of Will's disappearance, she's just gone cuckoo bonkers. And then you have Nancy, who's Mike's older sister. She kind of has a side story to her with her and Jonathan Byers, which is Will's older brother. Um, and then you have Steve, who is Nancy's love interest. And yeah, those are your characters to worry about as far as I can remember. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but man. Um, so, like I said, that was as short as I could make it while including everybody in there. Season 2 takes place a year after the ending events of Season 1. At the end of Season 1, Elle defeated the Demogorgon but disappeared in the process, believed to be stuck in the Upside Down or dead by most people. Turns out that she just kind of teleported across town into the woods. Well, not even to the woods, into the Upside Down, but was able to free herself from the Upside Down and ended up across town into the woods. Sorry. Blah. Yeah, so starting into this season, Mike has essentially become just obsessed with, he knows she's alive, so he's always trying to get in touch with her with his walkie-talkie. The rest of the guys have kind of moved on, believing that maybe she's alive, but that there's nothing they can do to bring her back, so they just try to move on with their lives as it is. Lucas and Dustin kind of get more of a focus in this season due to the character Max, who is a transfer student from out of town that, her and her stepfather and mother and stepbrother all moved into Hawkins, and the two of them instantly fall in love with her because she got the highest score on Dig Dug in the local arcade. And there's a conflict between the two of them and Max and Mike because Mike feels like they're trying to replace Elle with her, and he's just not having it. He's just not having it. And so that kind of causes some conflict. Once again, Will is just the one that drew the short straw, and he's having visions of the Upside Down still, and this oncoming shadow demon that wants to destroy everybody. And he has these random moments where he's sucked into the Upside Down and then sucked back out of it again. So you have his mother, Joyce, who's just, she won't let the boy out of her sight. I understand, I guess. I can't blame her, really. But then you have her boyfriend, Bob, who is played by the same guy that played Samwise Gamgee in Lord of the Rings. Do not ask me his name. Maybe I can find it here real quick. Sean Astin. That's it, Sean Astin. Two of them started dating and to kind of try to bring some stability to their life after she, though, tried to run him away because she's like, we're a crazy bunch of folks. And so that's a fun little storyline. I actually liked his character. I haven't seen him play many things outside of Lord of the Rings, so it was fun seeing him in this role of kind of the dorky mom's boyfriend character. And that was fun. I enjoyed that. So you have them, but then you have Sheriff Hopper, who found Elle in the woods and brought her to a cabin he owns in the woods, fixed it up for her, that way she can live there, but he keeps her secret from everybody because he's afraid if anybody knows she's there, then the whole mess from the first season will just start again. So for a year, he keeps her in the woods hidden away, and he's the only person she sees, besides television and the likes. That girl loves her Eggo waffles. I can't blame her. I do love a good Eggo. No, I can't have them. Darn you. So while that's all going on, then you have a side story with Nancy and Steve, because they started dating at the end of season 1, and their relationship is rocky to begin with because there's real no shared interest there. It's more of a, you're attractive and I'm attractive, we should date. I hated Steve in the first season. I hated Steve in the first season. I thought he's just a conceited jock of a guy with nice hair. That was his entire character. His hair had more character than him. Um, in this season, though, I have to say they did fantastic with his character. I actually liked him by the end of the season. I know, right? That's surprising. Um, Unfortunately, though, he does get the short end of a stick. Um, this is this is where spoilers happen. So if you're in this and you have not watched season 2, do that before you watch. I feel like I've given you enough video up until this point to where you don't feel wasted and, just robbed from. Go watch season 2, come back. I'll welcome you with open arms again, and we can continue. Good? Good. Anyway, for those that have seen season 2, because Nancy ends up getting drunk and breaking up with him and breaking his heart and ends up shacking up with Jonathan, oddly enough, in the spare bedroom of a conspiracy theorist. That was a weird episode, but another storyline that is explored in this season is Elle escapes from the cabin, goes and finds her mother, delves into her mother's addled and electroshocked mind, finds out that she has a sister, another girl that was experimented on at Hawkins. She goes and finds her, and I think her name is Callie. Callie helps her strengthen her powers, and then she comes back. And honestly, I feel like Callie was the most unneeded, unnecessary character in this entire season. She was the Steve of season 2. Am I saying her character is a bad character? No. I actually enjoyed her character. Was she necessary for the story or plot progression? No. Could have done perfectly fine without her. Literally, Elle could have just looked inside of herself and said, I must use my powers to save my friends. And it would have done the exact same as the entirety of episode 7. But we're here anyway. And she also looks like a Indian Sombra. I'm not kidding you there. So that's another storyline. All of this comes together. Oh, and also you have the storyline between Steve and Dustin, which that was a pairing I was confused by, but ended up loving. Because Steve goes to Nancy's house to try to apologize and get their relationship back in order. She isn't there, but Dustin is, and Dustin's like, "Get it, come on, we gotta go somewhere, gotta do some stuff." Because Dustin found a baby Demogorgon, not knowing it was a baby Demogorgon, raised it, and guess what? It's a Demogorgon. It's not gonna be a good pet. So he asked Steve to help him capture it, and Steve's seen some stuff up until this point, so he's like, okay. So they go and they have their kind of adventure together, and it's fun. He gives Dustin dating advice to try to win over Max, and you learn the secret to his fabulous hair. It's just good times all around. The running joke right now is that Steve is a babysitter now, and that he actually makes a joke in the show. Yeah, so the whole culmination of the season is the Mind Flayer, which is the shadow demon that Will keeps seeing, ends up possessing Will. And he is a hive mind with the Demogorgons, because one Demogorgon turned to 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then infinity. So it's a hive mind situation. Think Dead Space in Hawkins, Indiana. Um, so they're trying to find a way to kill the Mind Flayer without killing Will. And they eventually do drive it out, and Elle comes back to be the hero. And yeah, they close the gate at the very end of the season. They go to the winter formal dance at the middle school. Elle gets to go after being adopted by Sheriff Hopper, and her and Will share a kiss. Max and Lucas share a kiss. Dustin and Nancy dance together. That was interesting, but I guess it's sweet. That's nice of her to, see the one outcast out of the group and decide, hey, we'll bring you right on in. And Will survives the endeavor and is actually asked by a girl to dance. And that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. But the very ending, as the credit before the credits begin to scroll, you see the Mind Flayer at it again. He's lurking in the upside down, plotting. So my opinion is the events of season 3, which, by the way, the developers, the Duber brothers, I think they're called. Duffer Brothers. The Duffer Brothers said that there will be at least 4 seasons, maybe a 5th. So lots more Stranger Things to expect. So yeah, overall fantastic show. Season 2 didn't do as much for me as season 1 did, but by no means is it a bad watch. It is still a fantastic watch, better than most shows on today. But they had a lot to live up to with season 1. So that being said, go to Netflix, check it out. Let me know in the comments below what you think. What do you think season 3 is going to entail? Do you think they're going to focus mainly on the Mind Flayer again? Or are we going to get something from the Upside Down? Or maybe Callie will come back to be some sort of enemy. Who knows? But anyway, that's all for me today. I have a book review I'm doing soon. I'm actually doing another episode of Weird Foods. I know that was a very long hiatus that I did not expect. Got a bag of food back there to do, and it's just going to be a fun time. So, thank you everybody for watching, and as always, I love all of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.